Hi friends, Analia here from Analia Marie Designs. Today we're going to assemble these 3 layered paper pumpkins. So I've got my pieces for the pumpkins cut here. I've used smooth paper for this one, a little bit of texture on this guy, and a nice textured paper for the outside and stem on this one, just to show you what the differences look like. I personally like smooth paper. Honestly, I think textured paper hates me. I feel like I can never get it to cut nice and smooth, but that's just a personal preference. You'll need whatever your preferred method for attaching paper is. So you can use your favorite tape roller. I've got some Barely Art craft glue with the precision tip here and a piece of parchment paper for the glue. Any adhesive that you prefer to use for assembling paper. So let's start with our textured pumpkin. I'll move these guys out of the way. So we have our stem piece and our little pumpkin lines and our base. So the first thing we want to do is attach our base and our little pumpkin lines. So make sure we get them the right way around here. And I'm going to apply a bit of glue over here. You don't need a lot of glue here. If you use too much, it'll make the paper kind of soft and mushy. So I'm just gonna kind of go around a little bit here. I like using glue because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room to line everything up nice. I find sometimes when I'm using tape, it's when I'm most likely to glue something down the wrong direction or get something kind of in the wrong place. So I love this precision tip. I'll just kind of get some glue on this guy and stick him down. Now I did size these down when I cut them, and I would not recommend going much smaller than about 6 inches at the widest part for each of these pumpkins if you want to adjust the size and make them a little bit smaller. So really this is about as small as I would recommend going because these small attachments can become very fragile. And now we just need to put some glue on our stem. Now there's little kind of divots in the cut here and the lines where the stem lines up, so you can kind of see the little shape of the stem to get it nice and lined up. That guy is all glued together and looks good, so we'll set him aside to dry. I'll bring in our next orange pumpkin. So again, we've got the back, our kind of stripy layer, and then our stem there. So again, I'm just gonna flip over our kind of stripy pumpkin texture and add some glue. Again, it doesn't take a lot of glue, and you don't want to get the paper all wet and mushy like in elementary school. All right, and we'll just take this little guy and line him up. Oops. There we go, get our stem nice and lined up. Now, I did cut all of the stems with the textured paper, but I didn't want texture on this guy because there's no more textured paper for the other colors. So this is what I sourced from my local craft stores. And I didn't have all the colors in plain or textured, so I have a bit of a mix. So now, I just flipped this guy over when I cut it. I've got my little kind of roundy bits right here, which shows me where the roundy bits on the stem line up. So I'm just gonna give that a little push. Gonna line up our top there. And again, the glue is nice because it gives us a little bit of wiggle room. And we can always use the precision tip to come back in and pop a little extra glue under here if we need to. So there's this one. And now we can do our kind of white cream colored pumpkin. So again, we have our background, our texture layer, and our stem. We'll flip over that texture layer. And this is a slightly textured paper. Kind of like that. It's got a little bit lighter of a finish. You can definitely see here where the connections on this one in particular are getting kind of small. So be careful if you're gonna scale them down when you're cutting, because those parts will get fragile. And just line this one up. We got some little bumpies on the bottom. And then line up our stem at the top. Give it a good little pat. And then glue up our stem. And match up our little notches. And there we go. There's our little trio of pumpkins. Perfect for a little bit of wall decor or leaning up on your bookshelf, or maybe even making a garland. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.